Welcome to The Third Chair, a show about real people, real stories, real life. And here are your hosts for The Third Chair, Peter Grigg and Doug Bazeski.
Welcome to the journey through a series of special episodes of The Third Chair. Come and watch what we did over this year. You'll be amazed.
I'll be amazed.
You'll be amazed if I stay awake. Please watch The Third Chair.
That would be really amazing.
Totally amazing. Oh, welcome to The Third Chair, where we're having a special...
Yeah, I'm wondering, is there a guest in Ann or something?
Yeah. Yeah, they're here in spirit. Yeah, we're having sort of we're about to have finished 50 or so episodes, and we thought we'd take some time just to summarize the 50 episodes. And of course, as you know, not only are these episodes on YouTube, but they are being rebroadcast on Comcast 17 here in Colorado.
And many of our fans have had an interest in what's Peter really like. So we're going to ask him some questions on the show.
Oh, man. What's Peter really like?
Yeah.
Is he really that funny in real life?
No.
Oh, but first...
Peter has a great audience of one. Peter Grigg.
I am truly loved by many. Yeah.
But not for his humor. But...
Yeah, what's the old saying? A legend in his own mind.
That's right.
You know, I could have, even though I can't box as well as Muhammad Ali, you know, I could have, spouted the talk the way he did.
Like a butterfly sting.
Yeah, like you're going down
no
in 5.
As pretty as me.
Yeah, no one's pretty as me. Float like a butterfly, sting like me. That's good. That's good. So what we're going to do tonight is we're going to just talk a little bit about, actually over a couple of episodes, I think, of each episode, just in order, mention a few things about it, and hopefully that will inspire you to perhaps check out some of the older episodes, and also to maybe serve as an impetus to write in, send us your thoughts if there's a guest you'd like us to try and get a hold of, or if there's a topic you'd like us to talk to somebody about, just let us know your thoughts.
Right. So, the first guest was, young to us.
Yeah. Well, the first episode that we put on was Melissa Lance.
Yes.
Yeah, she...
a lovely young lady.
9-round owner in town.
Yeah.
There's 3 of them.
3? Is she working on a 4?
Yeah, she's working on it. She'd looked into an MMA kind of gym instead of a 4th 9-round, but I don't know that she's made a final decision.
With the MMA gym, would they have MMA bouts there? I mean,
yeah, there's that. Yeah, that kind of thing. Yeah, but I think she's leaning away from that.
Okay. Well, that leads me to another question about Melissa. She was writing a book when we talked to her, and I know you because you go 9 rounds all the time. Have you heard any more about the book?
Well, the last time I asked her, she said it was tentatively titled The Fighter's Mindset, and she looked at me and said, "I've done that one. I'm writing a second one." Which her fighter's name is the Machine. She sort of just lines up 1,000 things to do in a day and knocks them all off. Remember, she gets up at 3:30 and has her day in 6-hour blocks.
I like best about Melissa.
The nap.
Yeah.
Yes, the nap. Yes, she truly has greatness, just like Winston Churchill and Bill Clinton. Well, sort of Bill Clinton. Yeah, people that effectively napped and sort of worked around the clock. Yeah.
Let's see.
And she also was an
I like nap, but I don't get up at 3:30.
Oh yeah, boy, I've known a few people that lead that kind of lifestyle and just like are so productive all the time. It's like I get exhausted just talking to them. Here's a taste of that episode. Welcome, Melissa.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you for having me.
It's great to have you here. So I will get right into the questions because our fans are dying to know some things. So you're a female bodybuilder. Would you technically amateur or professional? I don't know how.
I would say amateur right now.
Okay. And how long have you been doing that?
I've been competing professionally for about 7 years now.
And before that, was there a period of time where you had to train to get to that level of fitness?
That's a great question. So I'd like to say I've been training my entire life, as in being physically fit. So I've been doing some sort of physical fitness, and that started in the military with me. That really kind of got that bug inside of me where I wanted to become better.
Sure.
So I just started working out, lifting weights, and then the natural progression after I became a personal trainer was to compete.
Wow. And I am trying to, I know you are super busy. How do you schedule all the workouts for being a bodybuilder, competing to be a bodybuilder?
You know, that's a question I get a lot, Peter. They ask me, what competition am I going to be doing next? And what I tell people is I don't ever work out to get on stage. It's about the journey, actually. So I'm going to do it anyways. Fitness is a big part of my life. I train or work out daily anyways. The award or the reward at the end just happens to be getting up on that stage for those 30 seconds.
Sure. Yeah. So do you actually take any days off, or are you doing something athletic every day?
I like to get my heart rate up at least 30 minutes a day, whether that's through a 9-round workout, a weight workout, or just taking a hike. 30 minutes a day, I like to elevate that heart rate or be active, doing something every day.
Yeah, I like to do that as well, beating my children to the fridge. And are you doing any sort of special diet? I mean, we've all seen Rocky, where Rocky's guzzling eggs. Do you do anything like that?
I don't guzzle eggs, but eggs is one of my major food groups. I love eggs. I don't drink them. There are a lot of bodybuilders or people that do. Not one of my specialties. I do not enjoy drinking eggs. But as far as a diet, I like to say I think everybody's on a diet. It's just we all eat different foods. Like I said, I've been doing it for 7 years. It's just become habit. So a lot of meal prep, planning what I'm going to eat daily, and it is similar foods, but they're all healthy foods, very clean foods. I'd like to say I'm about 80-20, so 80% of my meals are on track, and then I do have those celebration or little cheats, those comfort foods about 20% of the time.
Let's take a break. We'll get back to our guest in just a moment. But
Do you have a story to tell?
would you, yes you, like to be a guest on the third chair?
Send us an email and tell us about yourself and your story.
And please follow us on social media.
Now back to the episode.
Well, after that, on the show, we had, the next episode that we put up on YouTube was Aaron Pennington. And as I recall, Aaron is a pastor in town. He came and founded a church, an outdoorsman.
That's
big
right.
on fishing. I can't remember. Was he the one that was also, or was that Trent Langendorfer, who loved like making giant vats of Cajun style shrimp and crawdads.
That might have been Kurt.
That may have been Trent.
Trent.
Yeah, I don't remember. What I recall about Aaron, amongst many things, he was very much pro coaching and mentoring to develop leadership. That was one of the big things.
A lot of our guests have been. They read a lot of the self-help groups, and they had mentors. And I don't know how you can do a career without a mentor, even if you're not looking at them. I should look for mentors more, but I got some.
Here's a taste of that episode.
Aaron, let's talk about your early life. Tell us about your family when you were growing up.
Oh, so when I was young, my parents got a divorce early on. It was a pretty tough situation where we walked in on my dad with another woman, and so I've got two older brothers, and so we were there, kind of witnessed that whole thing, and remember seeing my mom throw her wedding ring at my dad out in a parking lot, and difficult situation. And so at that point, my dad left, actually ended up marrying that woman. And my mom did her best to raise three boys on her own, of course, on a teacher's salary, which you can imagine is not the easiest thing to do. But I still look back on those days and can't believe what my mom was able to do on such little income and with such little time. I think she did a phenomenal job. We had a kind of a loose relationship with my dad. After that, moving on, we'd go months at a time without seeing him. But then there was a point later in my life after I got in a little bit of trouble where he actually stepped back into my life in a much more intentional way. And so I've got a great relationship with him to this day.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Did you have fears and insecurities when you're young because of this incident?
Yeah, I think anytime something like that happens to a young person, it's going to leave wounds. It's going to leave scars. Sometimes the way that I've communicated is it plants a root, and being a believer, I think sometimes those roots are planted from sinful behavior, and so therefore it wasn't something that God wanted to happen.
How old were you when this happened?
Well, when my dad left, I was 5, and then when I started to probably act out on some of those insecurities, I remember just being a really scared kid. I go back now and I can kind of process through it, kind of psychology 101.
Right.
And, when something like that happens, it really messes with your mind. And so I became a scared little kid. I remember just being fearful of so many things that were ridiculous. Here's one stupid example. Somebody told me once when I was young that if I had a penny in my mouth, they're like, hey, that's going to kill you. And I believed them. Like, I fully believed I was going to die because, when something like your dad just leaves all of a sudden happens, and you never thought, anything can happen, right? And so I remember kind of landing in middle school, and of course I wasn't processing this way at the time, only being, 12 years old, 13, whatever it was. So now I can look back and see it, but I remember being this scared little boy, and I was so tired of being a scared little boy. And so I decided, you know what? I don't want to be a scared little boy anymore. So what do tough kids do? Well, they drink and they smoke and they cuss and they play football. And so I started doing all of those things. Again, not knowing what I was doing at the time, but I was trying to overcome that insecurity. Yeah.
We'll get back to our guest in just a moment. But
do you have a story to tell?
Would you, yes you, like to be a guest on the third chair?
Send us an email and tell us about yourself and your story.
And please follow us on social media.
Now back to the episode.
Yeah.
My career, and I'm with this group, and I wrote down a list of mentors, and I wrote down 3 real good ones I had early in my career that helped me a lot.
Now, did you have? I know you worked as an auditor for the Army, and of course, accountants are smarter than doctors.
Yes.
But did you ever have a mentor that says, "Okay, Doug, this is how you stand up to 4-star generals that don't want you to cut $100 million from their budget"?
I never briefed a 4-star.
Never had a 4-star?
And I briefed a 3-star.
A 3-star.
But, and I've had a 3-star and a 2-star and a 1-star yell at me, so I don't know.
Yeah, that's right.
And colonels and maybe
yeah.
it's just about every officer rank but a 4-star.
Do you ever look at them straight in the eyes and say, "That's it, you're down another 10 tanks"?
Yeah, I didn't control the budget, but we did have cost savings. And one of the good things about my job that happened is we got a boss, and the Army was cutting back, and he says, we're doing this job wrong if we want to stay alive, because we had an adversarial role, and it was like, either do it that way, or we write you up and you're going to get in trouble, or that we go in there to help them and we make recommendations that can fix stuff, which was a lot more difficult to actually come up with solutions. But we worked with them, and it was a lot less adversarial, and it was more productive, and we did stay alive. And
sure.
And and then we were a lot better organization.
All right, I can just picture it now. You in a back room, a smoke-filled room with cigars and brandy.
They
with
banned cigarettes in the buildings before I started
with
working.
some 2-star general, and you're saying, "Look, I'll put in a good word for you, and you can keep the $100 million. Yeah, but I want X, Y, and Z." Yeah,
I don't think that's the way it works.
Yeah. I want a week at Tripler Base in Hawaii or wherever it is.
Well, one colonel, he was promotable to general at the time. We were doing an audit, and he said one of the sites you should visit is Hawaii, Schofield Barracks in Hawaii.
Yeah, wow.
And we did it. I was surprised that our supervisors we told them our supervisors were there when they said that.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And,
did the Army embrace the idea that having a lot of pineapple on base was like good for the soldiers?
Pineapples are very important in the war effort.
That's
Every
right.
soldier I knew lived pineapples.
Yeah. They replaced the shell exploding part in the artillery with a pineapple. My goodness, yeah.
Well, that's an inside joke for us because
Yeah.
our producer does not like pineapples.
Yeah.
And he was in the Army, and he served during the Desert Storm.
He was in Hawaii as well.
Yeah, he was in Hawaii.
He was like the only one in like an entire battle brigade that didn't eat pineapple. Well, when we come back, we're going to talk about Monique Foster. You are so right. And some of the things, I think Monique was a surrogate. She carried children for other families. Remember that?
Yes. And I remember she was sexually assaulted quite a few times in her childhood.
Yeah,
you would never tell with her bubbly personality.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's been the story of too many guests.
Yeah.
When they've really shared a lot of personal stuff. So when we're back, we will pick up with a few other thoughts on Monique Foster. Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Grigg, a life and recovery coach with Pikes Peak Recovery Coaching. I've had the pleasure and privilege of helping people for over 25 years. I want to hear your story, support and encourage you while we partner together to help you reach your goals. I can help you. I am certain I can help you. I can be your guide, role model, resource person, and help you get results. What's my coaching frameworks? I'm an eclectic coach drawing from a variety of disciplines and frameworks with evidence-based proven methods. What would you like to work on? Some popular areas are goal setting and attainment, building and maintaining motivation, finding purpose, personal development, recovery from drug and alcohol addiction problems, health and wellness, life planning, athletic and creative artist performance enhancement, maybe something else, just ask me. I would love to help you. You can find my services on Fiverr.com. Welcome back to the Third Chair special episode. Where we left off, Doug threatened to ask me a question. Actually, we talked about that in the break.
Yeah, we talked about it in the break. We just talked about Monique, but I wanted to question because we started talking about nuns and stuff, and Peter grew up Catholic for a little while, and I grew up Catholic. And did you ever have the nuns come?
No, I never did. You know, my family went to the Catholic Church until I was about 6 years old, and so I am sure I deserved it, but I don't remember it. Although I also, do you remember the movie The Blues Brothers?
Oh, that's
where
one of my favorite
they're in there
movies.
with the nuns, and she hits them, and they curse, and they keep cursing, and she just like continually hits them both in the hand. It was so funny, and then the whole "I'm on a mission from God."
Yeah. That's one of my favorite lines from a movie.
Yeah. You know, Carrie Fisher was in that. You know,
Yeah,
Princess Leia.
She shot shooting at
And what's his name?
Belushi.
John Belushi. Yeah. Yeah, and he's holding her, and he's like, forgive me, and then after she puts the gun down, he like drops her in the mud.
Yeah, I'm done then.
Yeah, that was great. I really enjoyed that, the Blues Brothers.
Well, what happened to be in Catholic school, I had communion, and nun, she had a big ring. She's a big lady, and she had like a really big. She just bopped the boys on the head with it.
With the ring. Wow.
And it's like, so my goal was not to get bopped on the head. I mean, I didn't care about communion and all, 8 years old. My goal was
to avoid sort of the devil incarnate right there.
Well, I get to the end, and we had communion, and then it's like, I'll never see this nun again. And the guy who was the head of the line, he ran off somewhere.
Oh, wow.
When he wasn't supposed to.
You think that maybe was the early premonition for sort of a Lord of the Ring movie or something?
Well, I know Tolkien already wrote his books.
Yeah.
But then I was head of the line, and then she started talking to me, but I usually wasn't head of the line, so I didn't pay attention. While we're lining up for pictures, and so all of a sudden it goes, bunk! Out of nowhere, and I'm like, She said, "Are you head of the line?"
She gave you a concussion.
I'm like, I'll go over there.
Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, so when we left off, we already talked about Monique Foster and that she had shared some of her very horrible traumas of childhood and how she adjusted later on in life, and
it's kind of interesting with her. She has a bubbly personality, and she told the story of how she met her husband and on the ski slopes,
sure.
And then first she played hard to get, and then he played hard to get. I mean, it's quite a story, and it's one of the best stories we had on the show.
It always surprises me, and it shouldn't surprise me, but that people, how they're able to recover from tragedy. You think, oh my goodness, that's happened to you, that should just wipe you out, and maybe it does some people. But our guests that have shared their story have done remarkably well afterwards. Here's a taste of that episode. Well, Monique, thanks for joining us again. So, tell us a little bit about your family. Anything you'd care to share?
Oh, goodness. I am the youngest of 5 girls. My poor father had to, put up with 5 girls. I have 3 children of my own. I've been married for 25 years.
Wow.
And we're pretty good. We're pretty well together.
Now, I know we talked about this beforehand. You've had 3 children of your own, but you have had more children than that.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that, and with whatever you're comfortable talking about.
So when my youngest child, a boy, I have a son, was about 3.5, 4 years old, I ventured into the world of surrogacy, and I was
surrogacy.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's actually a difference between surrogacy and what I did. I was a gestational carrier.
Could you explain that? Because I've heard those terms and I find them a little bit confusing.
So surrogacy is when a female, such as myself, donates not only her own eggs, but also carries the baby full term and delivers. A gestational carrier is artificial insemination, so somebody else's eggs and sperm, and then I carried babies. So they're not genetically linked to me at all.
Gotcha. And, I can't even imagine what it would be like to go through a process like that. Is it emotional in different ways?
It's definitely emotional, but it's also very different. So when families or a couple decides to become a family, there's a lot of intimacy that goes into making that baby, even if you have to go through fertility treatment. You're creating life with somebody that you love, so that's an intimate bond. But when you are a gestational carrier or a surrogate, that intimacy is definitely different. It's changed. So for me, it was very scientific, and I learned a whole heck of a lot about the female body that I didn't otherwise know beforehand. So it takes that component out, so you're not emotionally connected to the fetuses as they grow, but you are connected to the parents. The parents are called intended parents because that's who you're caring for.
Mm-hmm.
So you end up with a connection with them, but not so much the baby you're growing, or babies in my case.
Oh, wow. Then we had Julia and Ty on. Julia and Ty Herrera. I think it's Herrera. Julia was a trainer at 9 Round for a while. That's where I met her. And of course, has a new podcast. We invite people onto the show that we know. And so she was kicking my butt at a training session one time. And
we got tapes of her and Melissa kicking your butt.
Yeah. They're very popular. There's over 1 million views.
Yeah, and it wasn't for your ability.
Well, there's a couple things remarkable about her. She visual artist, graduating from UCCS, University of Colorado.
She thought some of her paintings were beautiful.
Yeah, paintings. She seemed to have a mermaid theme.
A mermaid, and she had one from space, and she had one that reminded me of Alice in Wonderland, one of her more interesting. But it was just a little kid looking up at a view from a little kid's world.
Yeah, it sort of had a certain sort of magic mushroom feel.
Well, you might know more about that than
I
I do.
know. I thought like whoever wrote
magic mushrooms.
Didn't they say that whoever wrote Alice in Wonderland was probably doing some kind of psychedelics? I don't know. I've heard that before. I don't know if it's true. And I'm certainly not saying that Julia or Ty were doing psychedelics. Don't get me wrong. And she was also a mermaid at the Denver Aquarium. And she put on a show dressed as a mermaid, holding her breath and twirling and blowing kisses to the little kids.
Well, that's a big show, at the aquarium. So.
Yeah, she said the worst part is when they'd throw her on a cart and she'd have to lie there and they'd wheel her around for the kids to take pictures. Yeah, the suit's heavy, it's like you're treated like a fish at the fish market. But and then we had her husband on, and they told their love story and some of their shared interests. They liked certain Japanese cartoons. I don't remember if it was Naruto or manga.
Manga comic books. Yeah, and then they had the cartoons, which I think they're called something else, but they're based on the Magna comic books.
In that episode, we also had her and her husband did jiu-jitsu together, and her throwing her husband around, which was kind of fun, and her choking me out with a choke. So yeah, that was at least the production crew was cheering that on.
Oh yeah, big time.
Here's a taste of that episode. Julia.
Thank you.
Julia Hillary, it is great to have you here.
Thank you.
So, You're an artist. I bet you were drawing as a child. Tell me about that.
Oh yeah, I've been drawing since I was, I think, 2. Because I remember I had like those weird round crayons, and I kind of like did those for a little bit. And I remember watching my dad draw something and being like, and I just grabbed his like, not crayon, what is it called? Pencil, and started drawing with that. And I remember when I was 2, I showed a picture to my dad, and he was like, honey, come look at this. Your daughter drew eyelashes on a girl to distinguish the fact that she was a girl. And I was like, that's a weird thing? And like, I watched cartoons. Yeah.
That's impressive. No crayons on the wall or lipstick on the wall?
No, I was always very much a color within the lines sort of girl. Like, I wanted to put it all on the paper, because if it was anywhere else, it wasn't on the paper, and it wasn't making everything pretty. Plus, I had like an immaculate, well, I have an old immaculate mom who loves to keep things like super clean. So if I drew on the wall, she probably would have been like, go sit in your room, no more any of these for a week.
All right. So, comic books. Do you have a favorite comic book?
You know, I really like Calvin and Hobbes. Like,
Calvin
I
and
actually,
Hobbes.
I think that's part of the thing that inspired me to want to be an artist. Because I went home the other day to my parents' house, and I was looking around, and I'm like, oh, there's this Calvin and Hobbes book, and this one, and here's the one that I tore when I was 6 years old because I was trying to read a page and I couldn't open it because it was sticky, because my brother used to read them too, and he spilled like, I don't know, juice on it or something. And I remembered that most of these things we got because I was obsessed with Calvin and Hobbes, and I was like, I didn't understand them because they're very philosophical, but I was like, haha, that kid's funny. He does bad things.
Yeah, boy. No, nature or nurture? Are artists made or born? It seems like you didn't have a lot of time to be made if you're drawing it too.
Yeah, you know, I don't know. Because I'm like, I know some people who I would consider artists. I think it's half and half, really. Because I know some people who are artists that didn't start until, like, my best friend Kelly, like, she didn't start drawing and stuff until she met me in 7th grade, and she was like, oh my gosh, I love that you're drawing. Can you teach me how to draw? And now she does amazing things, too. And I didn't really teach her. I was just sort of like, this is the kind of stuff I draw. And then she went and taught herself, too. And then there's me that's just been drawing ever since I could hold a pencil.
Now, you know, sometimes parents, oh, I want my daughter to grow up and be the president or a doctor or a lawyer. When you told your parents that you were going to be an artist, what did they say? Were they supportive?
Oh, incredibly, yeah. Because the fact that I could draw really well when I was like 2, like my cousin used to draw like the circle with legs and a smiley face, and she's like, that's a person, and I was always like, no, it's not, we're the same age. So my dad was always like, no, if anyone's gonna be the artist in the family, it's gonna be you, and like I want to support that. And he'd take me to like galleries and stuff and show me. He'd even take me when people were actually working on stuff and just leave me there to watch them. And like him and my mom would go shopping, and I'd just be sitting there watching some very uncomfortable artist being like, I guess I'm babysitting your daughter now.
Let's take a break. Doug, most of our viewers and followers know that our new episodes come out on YouTube on Thursday nights.
Right.
But we have a new announcement about the third chair.
Exciting announcement.
Starting with the older episodes, they're now going to be on a TV channel.
Yes, very exciting.
So the TV channel is with the Pikes Peak Library District, Comcast Channel 17 here in Colorado Springs. And I believe the episodes are going to play at 7 o'clock at night, but they may cycle them, and who knows, maybe they'll be on at 2 or 3 in the morning. So if you're in Colorado Springs and you have Comcast and access to Channel 17, you're able to watch the third chair. The episodes are edited a little bit shorter. Some of the commercials are taken out on TV.
It should be exciting.
Yeah, I can finally tell my friends I'm really on TV.
We could tell them we're TV stars.
That's right. Yeah. Then after that, we had Joe Black, an amazing young African-American rapper.
Yeah,
and
well,
actor.
he was amazing young, and he kept you up past your bedtime.
I'd been up all night, and I began to fall asleep during the interview, and he caught me.
He thought Joe was just looking at me, but
yeah,
Joe
he was looking at you. I thought I could get away with a yawn.
Vision
Oh
there.
my goodness! Yeah.
Oh, that was great. And he had some great stories. I mean, he met famous rapper
Scarface, was it?
Scarface, yeah.
Scarface, yeah.
Yes, and he gave him some good advice. I mean,
He got to perform on stage, but he also...
Yeah, what Scarface?
Didn't Joe... And he tells us on the episode, I thought it was so funny, that he, fell off the stage or something during one of his rap sessions.
Yeah, that was an earlier thing. And he recovered, and the first thing he did was the Scarface concert.
Yeah, that's...
He was one of the openers, and then... I think he was on the stage at the same time as Scarface dancing.
And he has put several short film on YouTube. I don't know the names of them off the top of my head.
But he does a lot of them as a character, the Black Joker, and he has
Black
2 or
Joker,
3
yes.
characters.
Yeah,
He's also acted in movies, and along with another one of our guests,
Rob Bowen.
Who
produces and films, yes.
Yeah, later one of our guests.
The other thing about Joe that I really liked is, he shared some of his own personal struggles, and also he has done some public service announcements like suicide awareness and homelessness.
That's a very big issue for him, suicide awareness, because he's had a lot of them committed suicide. And it's sad to see people taking their lives, especially so early in life.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so, he's just a young man, and he's seen too much.
Yeah, his first episode, he was on for a couple shows. His first episode may have been the most watched episode we've had. I'm not sure. We can check.
I think
with
last
the
time I checked, it was, but some of our numbers and some of the other episodes were still going up, and his is still going up, but I don't know who's ahead today.
Yeah. Here's a taste of that episode. Well, welcome back to the Third Chair Podcast, and we are with our special guest, Joe Black, rapper, film producer, citizen promoting public awareness, and thanks for being here, Joe.
That's my pleasure. I'm actually really happy to be here. I've been so excited, and I love what you guys are doing, and I'm totally honored, man.
Cool.
We appreciate that.
Yeah,
absolutely. I appreciate what you guys do.
All right. So, I've seen some of your YouTubes, and you are a rapper.
Right.
That's your main thing?
That's my first love.
That's your first
That's
love?
always going to be my
Did you ever
first
sing
love.
rock and roll, like Led Zeppelin?
I love rock and roll. You know what? I love Led Zeppelin. No, to be honest, as a music artist, I love so many different genres and different types of music.
Mm-hmm.
I get inspired by anything that really has a good sound.
Sure. If you weren't a rapper, do you think you'd be singing? Could you see yourself singing country and western?
You know, maybe somewhere in the multiverse. but as far as this earth, not so much. But there are some good country and western songs that have inspired me and helped me through some really hard times.
Wow.
My mother's a country and western fan.
Oh, really?
She is. She is. Cool. So
now
I've heard it growing up.
Cool. Now, I know, like so many rappers, like Dr. Dre and others, 50 Cent, they don't just rap, but they're also entrepreneurs and interested in other areas of business and whatnot.
Right.
So you're doing something, making films, is that right?
That's right. That's right.
Tell me about that.
Well, you know, it started out as just a passion for acting that I developed when I was a teenager, a young teenager. My mother had found the opportunity to get me in with Disney and Nickelodeon, doing some youth acting stuff. So I was able to do that and get my taste of professionalism in that area. And from there, you know, I did it for a while, and my mom got kind of sick. And so we'll touch on that, but she had some health things going on, and we weren't able to move to California like we needed to. And so we kind of just had to put a hold on it because I had to take a job, and I was still in school. And so taking care of her.
How old were you
also.
when you had to take a job?
I've been working since I was 12. I started working.
Wow.
Yeah, I started working at 12.
It's a lot of pressure for a kid.
Yeah. Kind of had to lie to make sure I was working, able to work.
You tell me you're 18.
Sometimes I could have looked like it. I was always the biggest kid, man. But
yeah, sure.
Nah, it was 14. It was 14, 15. You know, so I was able to get some jobs. I come from a military family, so I was able to, you know, bag some groceries at the time, and I was able to get some work going at a warehouse that my grandmother and my brother had actually worked at, and you know, was able to help my mom.
Now, I've noticed in some of your videos that you've created some really interesting characters.
Thank you.
You know, both in the music and that, and we're going to have some episodes on the special one called The Black Joker, which is fantastic.
That guy is something else.
That guy is something else. We're looking forward for those episodes. But have you, like when you do a music video, sometimes I know there's some other very colorful characters. Do you have a hand in creating all of those as well? When you put together the music videos?
You know, I can't take all the credit for it because I have an awesome team of people that work with me and support me with that, and have helped me even manifest those dreams into a reality so you can go and watch it.
Yes.
You know, so I can't say that I created, because it was really something that was blessed as a gift to me.
Sure.
You know, so it's more of an opportunity that I was able to share with my friends, you know, and get them involved with me, so that way we can, you know, have fun and you know, do some amazing stuff. You know?
I think that speaks well for you. I think it takes a certain humility to say, wow, the team I'm with really contributed a lot. It wasn't, you know, let's face it, some artists are a little bit narcissistic. It's all about me, just me. Yeah.
Right.
Sure.
They'll hate you and despise you, but never let them deny you the chance to be who you wanna be. You're a star, just believe in yourself. Keep on going, you'll get through it. It's all good. It's all good. He's all good, she's all good, they all good. I'm all good, you all good, we all good. It's all good. He's all good, she's all good, they all good. I'm all good, you all good, we all good. It's all good. He's all good, she's all good, they all good. I'm all good, you all good, we all good. It's all good. He's all good, she's all good, they all good. I'm all good, you all good, we all good. It's all good. Life. Sometimes it can knock you down, you know what I mean? It's all good. But it's on you to stand up and find that strength, to look inside yourself and to say, it's all good. Whether you wrong or you right. Before the whole wide world, I'm a soldier. I've got the whole wide world on my shoulders. Before the whole wide world, I'm a soldier. I got the world on my shoulders, trying to grow old, but the world's so. Shoulders, trying to grow old, but the world's.
We're gonna have another banger of a match for you today!
Is that gonna be your thing now?
Any red flags?
It's okay, Adam.
Did she get the payout?
But of course.
It's all fixed.
What game of chance is it?
How is any of this legal?
I think I might have found something, but you're not gonna like it.
You assured me this wasn't going to happen.
Like puppets to the slaughter. So what did they say?
I've said my piece, if that's what you mean.
The contract is meticulously clear.
No!
I just don't know what to do for you.
Desperation. It's our bread and butter.
I think I have a way out of all this.
So, it's over?
I'm afraid it's not that simple. You know that.
With that kind of money, you can buy her all the justice she deserves.
You know, in fact, it's probably best you just don't even mention Tasha.
I don't have a choice!
That's what I'm saying, baby doll. That metaphor, it's mixed, but yeah.
So it's a 50-50 shot?
Just point me to the dotted line.
So do you think it'll all go as we expect?
It just gotta work.
The biggest gambles have the biggest payoffs.
I don't think they're gonna be much of a bother.
Excellent.
Put the fucking money on the table. Now!
Let's take a break.
Coffee of the Kentucky-Arizona Walnut Association?
It's kava.
The national coffee of Kawasaki, Japan?
It's kava.
Hiya!
Is it the secret elixir of the surfers in Hawaii?
Or is it the secret island recipe of Kona, Koala, Kauai, or Cola? It's kava. Kava is Polish for coffee. Here at Kava Coffee, we focus on serving a delicious, high-quality cup of coffee in a space where love, coffee, and people mix into the perfect blend.
We value our relationships with our customers and our roasters. Buy locally whenever possible and truly have the homemade touch. Our pastries, syrups, and even our almond milk made in-house.
So come on in, relax, get some work done. Enjoy the Kava community, some encouraging words from the Kava Coffee gang.
Kava Coffee.
Be awake.
good night from 2 Men and a Duck Entertainment and the Third Chair. Please like, subscribe, share, and hit the notification bell icon so you can be informed when we post more totally awesome video.
Want to be a guest? Want to sponsor our show? Send us an email. Please subscribe to our channel and follow us on social media.